Welcome everyone. Today I have a new space salvaging guide for Arknight Endfield. As you guys can see behind me, I have just completed the 50,000 requirement to unlock all the rewards. And as we claim everything, in this video I want to teach you guys some of the best method to be doing this particular mission, including speedrun methods that is also hidden to most of the players. So there are certain parts of the map that even though you can't get in, and there are ways to jump through the boxes and then get into the map. So I'll show you guys over here. So there are a lot of hidden ways in the game that can save you a lot of time if you jump correctly and then instantly gain the rewards available to quickly get your 50,000 reward or 50,000 points for all the rewards that's available in the game. There's also most efficient farming methods and also boss routes that I'll be teaching you guys, that you can be going for boss kills and then quickly get tons of loot after and then restart the boss fight again and then repeat this process. So for those of you that is great at parkour, or for those of you that is great in terms of fighting, you have multiple options. And instead of hitting those rocks, we also have ways to actually explode those rocks. So I'll show you guys again. So previously I was hitting those rocks, right? Here, if you use the bomb correctly, which I did not use it correctly, the second time, the charm, if you use it correctly, you can blow all those rocks up and save yourself even more time by doing the speed runs. So every minute you're getting a lot of points if you do those correctly. Now, of course, I am aware I want to make a fully detailed guide, so this video will break down into two parts. We show some of the highlight of getting all the quick unlocks and also 50,000 points for all the rewards in the game, but the first part of the video will teach you how to unlock the story, how to unlock all of the zones, what are the best method, and also pretty much the basics of the Etchspace Salvage. The second part is where we go to Mega Max, check out the speedruns, the best routes, and also even some of the tricks or some of the special zones that you don't even have to fight. You just jump through the boxes and then you can get your special loot. So very excited to prepare this entire guide for this particular end game mode for everyone. Now, coming over to our notes. For those of you that want to see the written notes, this will be transferred onto the Mobility site and this will be available in the links below. So definitely check it out. And basically to summarize, I'll use this particular replay as a demonstration. At the start of the game, you pretty much have a countdown on the top. You can see the countdown goes up as you go to different zones, and the countdown is how long you can explore the map for. And the longer you stay in a different difficult zone, the quicker the countdown will go up. And by the time countdown reaches maximum, then you would have to evacuate forcefully out of the zone. You can look for special loots like chests that will give you permanent loots like the ore barrels, or other loots that will give you particular points towards the accumulation and also unlock of certain systems in this particular zone. You can be fighting monsters and also you can be looking for a particular key. So the first part of the game is when there's tutorials teaching you how to find certain keys to unlock different zones. Once you have found enough of those keys, you can then unlock the gate for certain zones. And here I have unlocked the final key for the boss room for the first zone. And now we're going to fight the boss. The bosses are not difficult. Of course, you can interact with objects in the game which throws bombs and also grenades at monsters or break interactables. And here we're going to fight the boss. Boss's levels are only 40 and they are quite easy, so the difficult part for this particular zone or this particular mode is not the boss fight, but rather knowing what to do and also how to find certain rare materials and also quest items. Because you're also on a timer, sometimes even after killing the boss, you still should go for the boss loot. And looting the boss loot might take you the longest time. So the biggest trade-off in this game mode is finding the balance between how long would you spend looting the items or how long would you spend looking around looking for better loots. And there are certain ranking of the loots. You can see here we're fighting the yellow rocks, and later I was fighting breaking the red rocks, which give us even more points gained for accumulation for better achievements. There's also treasure chests, interactables, and there's also tons of other loots that can be giving us even better reward. And here, just before the timer expires, you see 3-second countdown. I was able to loot the chest, but not the rest of the items. So the first part of the game mode will require you to look for keys. The game tutorial will show you where the keys are as you come closer to the side, and you'll be doing some minor puzzles which you'll be traveling along and try to direct yourself to each of the keys. Once you have unlocked all the keys, the gate will open and you'll be fighting the boss. So there are 3 zones currently in this particular game mode, and you can interact with this game mode once you have unlocked the side quest. I'm going to go into the zones and use that to show you guys in the game, which I think is the best way to do it. And because it takes a little while to load, one thing is, I'm going to move my head, you can bring bombs with you. You can find bombs in the game as well, and depending on the bombs you bring, you can use that to solve puzzles, interactables, finding hidden chests, or just use that to blow up minerals in general, which will fasten your progress. So while the game is loading, let's briefly come back to our notes. In the first 2 zones, this can be speed rushed without completing any side quest. So what are the side quests? Side quests is when you have to collect certain type of materials from monsters, which can be easily found or be target farmed depending on the type of monsters or type of loot chest box you're looking for. So now that we're still loading, the loading takes a while. Depending on the type of items, it will tell you which of the zones this item will be in, and then it will tell you what monster and also what chest loot dropped this item. It is important to understand this because you can see the items that have over 6 amount and these items that don't have enough. So you should really know what you're looking for, but if you do not, you can press J or the quest line. You can see I still have a number of side quests I haven't finished. And those side quests will provide different reward. Some of those rewards will give you particular refinery chips, other ones will give you certain rewards. It's important to see that, especially the one that gives you maximum capacity. Those are very important as you come over to the endgame exploration time. The longer time you have to explore, the better it is. So I recommend unlocking at least 2 of the expanding of time limit quests. And for example, if you're looking for those items, you click on this item, it will tell you what monsters drops this one, and certain chests and loots can be a little harder to understand, so we're going to have a small guide over here. So over here, I'm trying to look for a golden statue, and over here, I'm searching everywhere to the locations for it. And once I have completed the golden statue, you can see I can come over and turn in the quest, which is over here. Once I have looted the item, I quit the game mode. I don't want to explore a little more because the faster I get my rewards, the faster I become stronger in the game mode. So the biggest reward over here is actually upgrading your time limit. You start with around 600 and then you go to 900. The goal is to get to 1200, which I'll explain very soon. So in certain side quest mode, you're asked to find a particular item. Some of those items are actually found in collectibles. Here I want to mention those vending machine collectibles. They are usually the most difficult item to find. Sometimes the white ones and also green ones will be different. Second to that, you can interact with the collectible vending machines twice. So I effectively complete all 6 of the required items by knowing that I can interact with this twice. And I was able to finish both of the quests this way. So it's important for you to know to look around for those. Sometimes it take you 1 to 2 rounds to find those particular item box, and then this particular item can be interacted twice, which will save you a lot of time. And you can see as we come over here, I'm going to complete those quests and submit those for special unlockment, which will be very important. This is how you also unlock the bomb as well. You can see I've unlocked my time limit to 1200 or even 1600. This is where the fun part begins. Because I have tried to speed run the 3rd zone with only 600, that is not enough. You're looking for at least 1200 maximum time, because just running to the boss alone will take you over 700 time. And because the time ticks differently, so it's not seconds, it ticks like every 3 or 4 time ticks per second. So now once you have completed enough, then your aim is to go to the boss room. And during this time, if you do find particular chests, you can go for those. They will give you anywhere from 15, 30 or 60 permanent aura barrels as you explore for those rewards. Now, one thing I do want to highlight, those ziplines. It is important to know at the start of the particular exploration, this is where you go for your first zipline. And once you have explored enough, you would have unlocked ziplines to take you to other zones. So if I open the map, you can see that I'm currently over here on the bridge. This is great because I can have ziplines to the number 1 area, number 2 area, and number 2 area, or even before the number 3 area, I have a zipline there. So it is important for you to understand where to go. As a general summary, over here, if I want to go to number 1 zipline, I will have taken that zipline over there. I'll show you guys over here. And yes, you have to manually unlock those ziplines by approaching those, and this will unlock this. So at the back is where the number 1 is. And here, this can take me to level 2, and while this one will also take me to level 2 in a different path. So I'll show you guys over here. So those two areas represents the number 2 path, and here is the number 3 area. To go to the number 3 area, I usually go to this particular zipline, and then unlocking the zipline right in front of number 3 is the zipline down over here. And this particular zipline is also important for repeatable boss farm for the second part for the most efficient points earning system. So once I get over here, I'm right in front of number 3 door, and there's a boss right over here with tons of loots. So we're gonna pause over here. Hopefully my timer doesn't tick, and then we keep coming back to the guide. So one of the fastest ways to unlock all 3 of the zones is to understand your ziplines, and then to unlock the zones by finding the keys and then killing the boss. And then this will allow you to have free exploration. So I will be continuing the notes, don't worry, and you can see more of the notes as to come. But I think it's easier for me to teach you guys more on the second part now. So there are 2 particular methods for the second part. I'll teach you guys I guess the simpler method, because you'll just be fighting monsters, while the parkour method is very good, but it can be quite difficult. So let's go through the simpler method. So at the start, as I'm gonna load into the game, you can see that actually I should be coming out to show you guys this part as well. So I'm gonna exit now. So in the exploration zones, there are 2 particular type of quests, and this is after you have unlocked all 3 of the zones, and after defeating the 3 zones of boss, and that would have completed your main quest line. Once you completed the main quest line and have gotten the 600 Aura Barrel reward, 600 gems reward, then if you come over to the NPC, so here I've maxed everything. If you come over to the NPC, you can still check for the quest. Oh, this is the ones we unlocked everything. And here, you can still check for the quest over here and view the commissions. So here are permanent commissions I haven't had time to complete because I haven't got those items. What we're focusing on are the focus commissions. Those can be reset daily, and you can pay additional points over here. The first reset or the first new one is for free. You can spend more points to get more rewards, or spend more points to get more commissions. And this is by far the best way to earn your 50,000 accumulation points for the space salvaging. You can see over here, here are some particular quests that I'll be doing as I explore the zones, and some of those requires to collect zone 2 materials. Some of those just require you to submit the crystals, which starts with 3,000, that goes to 6,000 crystals or even higher, which can be farmed within a minute or 2, so very quick. So what we're learning over here is, I'm assuming you guys know how to find the quest items, and I don't need to teach you guys how to find the quest items. I'll teach you guys the 2 fastest way of farming the crystals without needing the quest. So same as before, we're going to come over to the zipline, and this is after you have unlocked all the zones, so you have the access to most of the points. We're going to take the same route I showed you guys earlier, where we take the top route and we go to close to area 3. This is when you can find a direct single target boss that is level 40, very easy to kill, and next to the boss there's tons of loot. So the zipline itself will take you like 10-20 seconds, 10-20 seconds to load the map, and killing the boss will take you another 10-20 seconds. So in total, this particular farming route will take you about a minute, and this will give you about 1,600 plus points. That is one of the fastest way to do the final mode of the gaming. And this will take you to 50,000 points before you know it. Make sure you loot all the boss materials, and then you can manually attack those rocks, which might take some time. So one of the other tips I have for you guys is actually to bring 1 bomb with you. Or you can bring 2 bombs if you, like me, tend to miss. So you can find bombs as you explore the maps, and the tutorial will also give you some of the bombs. And once you have bring 1, 2, or 2 bombs with you, you do the same thing, come over to the boss, and after defeating the boss, you can then try to throw your bombs on the mines. So if you're like me, sometimes you miss, then you should bring 2 bombs. Because here I went through the mines onto the next part, and here you want to aim to the ground, throw on the mines, and that will blow all the mines up and give you the loot you wanted. Just by looting this will give you over 1,600 accumulation crystals, and you can loot the chest next to those as well. So this is a very fast way to loot. You can go a little further to kill the monsters up over here on the ledge, but it's a little less time efficient compared to just repeating the boss. but it's really a personal choice. So just by doing this every minute, I was able to get like 10, 20,000 points within 10 minutes. Very, very simple, and the boss is super easy to fight. Now, we do have another method, which is also shared to me by some of my Russian friends. So, same as before, you load the map, and once you have to load the map, here you can bring some bombs as well, because this again will help you to blow the crystals up. This time, we're going to come up to the zipline, and then we're going to directly to go to area 1 instead of the highest area. So we're going to go directly to area 1, and this method does not require fighting. This is a purely parkour method that really depends on how great you are at pressing your buttons and also jumping boxes. So, the game mode have not unlocked Zone 4 yet, but in the future, once the game mode has unlocked Zone 4, this is where you'll be going for the 4th zone, which supposed to be more harder content and also more special things to be unlocked. But we're not here for the 4th mode, we're here to jump under here, but you can come directly over here. So here we're going to take advantage of the stacking of the boxes that is arranged in such a way that you can press sprint, jump at the same time, and the goal is to aim for the corner of this particular box. And once you get onto this box, your next goal is to jump onto the next ledge. And this is, I don't think this is by design, but players can achieve this particular jump after some practice. So that took me like 10 seconds to jump, right? And once you have jumped correctly, we can then use the bombs we brought with us to explode the crystals and then get all the loots. And that pretty much skipped all the boss fighting, and they skipped all the running across Zone 3 to get the best loots that's available in the game for the fastest time. Now, this is the most efficient and also fastest way in farming those materials. You get over 1,600 crystals within 10-20 seconds, but there's a catch. First, I want to show you guys, if you come back over here, you actually find the boss for Zone 3 as well. You can kill this one as well, and this will give you a bit of extra loot, but it really depends if you want to fight that or not. The hardest part about this particular method is jumping boxes. So, you might see me succeeding very easily in that particular run, but I have spent over 10 or 15 minutes learning how to jump the boxes. So, I don't want to give you guys a method and not tell you guys how to do it right. So here you can see. What we're doing is we're trying to go onto the little box over here, and then we're trying to jump onto the corner of that box. I've spent 10 minutes not succeeding once before I know what I'm doing. So the key over here is to actually press jump, dash, and also space at the same time, but in a particular sequence. You must be dashing first. Notice I'm spending my stamina. First I get onto the small box, then I dash and jump, and then I try to curve my character angle to the corner of this box while my character is running forward, dashing, jumping, and then directing the character onto this particular corner. This has to be done within a second, so this is the challenge for parkour. And once you have gotten the first part, which is extremely hard, trust me, it took me many tries. I was trying to show you guys how many fails I had. And once you have gotten here, you can see here, once you have sprint correctly and jumped onto it, then the next hard part is, how do you get onto the next box? So once you have gotten here, the next box, you should be aiming to sprint, dash, and then jump at the very corner of this box onto that ledge. And try to take advantage of the box if you can, but this takes multiple practice. Because it takes so long to get onto this box, sometimes you don't get that much practice. And again, I've tried many times, the jumping, the direction is very difficult. So yes, this is why I saved this method to last, because I don't want to bait you guys into thinking, oh, this is a 20-second method. I can just parkour it and then save tons of time. So even after practicing for 10-15 minutes, which I have gotten quite good at it, it will still take me a few tries, as you can see over here. The biggest part is this part. You're jumping and sometimes you don't jump. So this is by far the fastest method without fighting, but if you don't know how to jump correctly or you haven't practiced enough, this will take you way longer. And this is why I offered the first method, just killing the boss, getting the loots. It's similar. It might take 30 seconds longer, but it's a guaranteed success. And those two methods are the best ways of completing your 50,000 points accumulation. And of course, you should be completing your rewards. So what I mean by that is those two are the ones that you can do after you have completed all the focus commission. Because focus commission will give you 5,000 points, it is quite efficient, but sometimes it takes you 10 minutes to find a focus commission. While over here, every farm takes 1 minute and you get 1,600. So this is the most repeatable, efficient tool of the method to unlock the final game mode and to get all the rewards. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and let me know in the comments if you have a better method or better rules, and we can share with everyone for this particular content. I'll also be making additional in-game content guides for each of the content and best ways to chase those content on the most efficient farming route like you see over here. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so, because I'll be covering everything related to Arknights Endfields, relating to the builds, the characters, and also ways of getting promo codes and additional freebies, explorations related to the game. So make sure you subscribe for the latest update and also news related to the game, and also more updates for new patches to come in the future.